Ever wonder why some people retire with $7 million and still worry about money, while others live comfortably on just 800,000? Today, we're going to shatter every myth you've been told about retirement savings and reveal the shocking truth about how much you actually need to stop working forever in 2026. I'm about to show you three different retirement scenarios that will completely change how you think about your financial future. But first, let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. Right now, take a guess at how much money you think you need to retire. Got a number in your head? Hold on to that because by the end of this video, you might discover you've been aiming for either way too much or dangerously too little. I'm Dan, and I'm here to help you decode personal finance and wealth building without judgment or fake hype. The retirement industry has been feeding us the same outdated formulas for decades. They tell you to save 10 times your annual income or follow the 4% rule without considering your actual lifestyle, where you want to live, or what retirement even means to you. These cookie-cutter approaches are not just wrong, they're financially dangerous. Let me start with Sarah, a marketing manager making $75,000 per year in Denver. Traditional advice tells her she needs $750,000 to retire. Sounds reasonable, right? But here's what the experts don't tell you. Sarah spends $1,800 monthly on her mortgage, $600 on her car payment, and another $1,000 on work-related expenses like professional clothes and commuting. When she retires, these expenses vanish. Her actual retirement income needs to drop to about $40,000 annually, not $75,000. This means Sarah could retire comfortably with just $1 million instead of the traditional recommendation of $750,000. But wait, there's more. If Sarah's willing to relocate to a lower-cost area like Asheville, North Carolina, her living expenses could drop another 30%. Suddenly, $800,000 becomes her new target, and she's looking at retiring 5 years earlier than planned. Now let's examine the flip side with Marcus, a software engineer earning $120,000 in San Francisco. He follows the 10 times rule religiously, saves $1.2 million, and thinks he's set for life. Marcus discovers his retirement reality is far different from his expectations. His mortgage alone costs $4,000 monthly. Property taxes eat up another $1,000, and even basic groceries cost twice what they do in other states. His $1.2 million generates about $48,000 annually using the 4% rule, but his actual expenses need at least $70,000 to maintain his current lifestyle. Marcus faces a critical choice. He can continue working until he saves closer to $2 million, or he can embrace geographic arbitrage. If he moves to Austin, Texas, his money suddenly works twice as hard. That same $1.2 million now covers his lifestyle comfortably with money left over for travel and hobbies. But here's where it gets really interesting. Both Sarah and Marcus are missing the biggest piece of the retirement puzzle, and it's not what you think. The real question isn't how much money you need, it's how you define retirement itself. Meet Jennifer, a teacher who discovered she didn't want to stop working completely. She wanted freedom from her demanding schedule and difficult administration, but she loved teaching. Jennifer saved $600,000 by age 55, nowhere near the traditional retirement recommendations. Instead of waiting another decade, she created what I call a bridge retirement. She tutors high school students 3 days a week, earning $30,000 annually while her investments provide another $24,000. Her total income of $54,000 covers her expenses with room to spare, and she's happier than she ever was in her full-time career. Jennifer's approach reveals something powerful. The new retirement isn't about accumulating massive wealth to never work again. It's about reaching a point where work becomes optional and enjoyable rather than necessary and stressful. This brings us to the three retirement models that actually work in 2026. First, the traditional retirement model still works for some people, but the numbers are different than you've been told. Instead of saving 10 times your annual income, focus on 25 times your actual annual expenses in retirement. This accounts for eliminated costs like mortgages, work expenses, and potentially reduced insurance needs. For most people, this means saving between $600,000 and $1.2 million depending on their lifestyle choices and location decisions. The key is being honest about your actual spending needs, not just replacing your current income. The second model is the geographic arbitrage retirement. This is where you save for a comfortable retirement in a high-cost area Then move somewhere with lower expenses. Your money suddenly buys you a much better lifestyle. $1 million in retirement goes much further in Boise, Idaho than it does in Los Angeles, California. This strategy can effectively increase your retirement wealth by 30 to 50% without saving an additional dollar. The third model is the passion income retirement, like Jennifer's approach. You save enough to cover your basic expenses through investments, then earn additional income doing something you genuinely enjoy. This model typically requires the least upfront savings, sometimes as little as $400,000 to $600,000 because you're still generating income in retirement. But here's what nobody talks about when discussing retirement savings. The biggest risk isn't running out of money. It's inflation destroying your purchasing power over 30 years of retirement. A comfortable lifestyle costing $60,000 today will cost over $140,000 in 30 years, assuming just 3% annual inflation. This is why the traditional advice of bonds and conservative investments in retirement is actually dangerous. You need your money to keep growing even after you stop working. A balanced portfolio with significant stock exposure becomes crucial for long-term retirees. Let me share the most controversial part of retirement planning that financial advisors don't want you to know. The 4% rule is broken. It was based on historical data that doesn't reflect current market conditions, longer lifespans, and changing economic patterns. A more realistic withdrawal rate in today's environment is closer to 3.5%, which means you need more money than traditional calculations suggest. However, this changes dramatically based on your flexibility. If you're willing to adjust your spending during market downturns, you can safely withdraw 4.5 to 5% annually. This flexibility alone can reduce your required retirement savings by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about the practical steps to reach your personalized retirement number. Start by tracking your actual expenses for 3 months. Not what you think you spend, but what you really spend. Identify which expenses will disappear in retirement and which might increase, like healthcare and travel. Next, consider your retirement location preferences. Research the cost of living in areas you'd consider retiring to. This single decision might be worth more than years of additional savings. Create 3 scenarios: staying where you are, moving to a lower-cost domestic location, and potentially retiring internationally where your dollar stretches even further. Then build your investment strategy around your timeline and risk tolerance. If you're under 40, you can afford to be aggressive with growth investments. If you're over 50, you need to balance growth with some protection of your existing savings. Here's a secret that could accelerate your retirement by years. Focus as much energy on reducing your retirement expenses as increasing your savings. Every dollar you can permanently eliminate from your annual expenses is equivalent to saving $25 in retirement accounts. Paying off your mortgage early, downsizing your home, or eliminating a car payment can be worth hundreds of thousands in retirement savings equivalents. The biggest mistake I see people make is assuming they need to maintain their exact current lifestyle in retirement. Most retirees discover they're happier with less stuff and more experiences. They drive older cars, live in smaller homes, and spend more money on travel and hobbies than they ever did while working. This mindset shift from accumulating things to accumulating experiences can reduce your retirement needs significantly while actually improving your quality of life. So what's your real retirement number? It depends on your choices, not just your income. A minimalist retiree willing to relocate might need only $600,000. A luxury lifestyle retiree staying in an expensive city might need $3 million. Most people fall somewhere between $800,000 and $1.5 million for a comfortable retirement. The key is designing a retirement that excites you rather than one that just pays your bills. Start with your dream retirement lifestyle. Work backwards to calculate the costs, then build a saving strategy that gets you there. Remember, retirement planning isn't about following someone else's formula. It's about creating your own path to financial freedom. Your homework is simple but powerful. Calculate your current annual expenses. Imagine your ideal retirement lifestyle and determine which of the 3 retirement models appeals to you most. Then start building your personalized plan today, because the best time to start planning your retirement was yesterday, but the second best time is right now. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing. This channel is about helping people with their personal finances, one step at a time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.